All right, buckle up. We're about to go on a super fast tour through some of the wildest, most reality-bending ideas philosophy has to offer. Seriously, get ready to question, well, pretty much everything.
So, let's just jump right in with a massive question. What if? What if the very fabric of your reality is a lie? Everything you see, everything you feel, all your memories, what if none of it is real? It's a heavy one, I know, but it's the perfect place to start this whole journey.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. Think of it like a cosmic zoom-in. We'll start big, asking, is any of this real? Then we're going to zoom in a bit to figure out who exactly are you? And finally, we'll bring it right down to earth and ask, how should we actually live our lives?
Okay, let's do it. Section 1. Is any of this real? We're starting by questioning the one thing we all just kind of take for granted every single second of the day, that the world around us is, actually there.
And that brings us to something called the Boltzmann brain. This is a wild one. It's basically a probability game. So, what's more likely? That our entire, massive, complicated, orderly universe just happened? Or that in an endless universe of pure chaos, a single conscious brain, with all of your memories, just randomly popped into existence for a split second? The terrifying part? Statistically, that single floating brain might be way more probable, which means, well, your entire life could just be one fleeting hallucination.
So, if you can't even trust the universe itself, what's left? What can you actually be sure about? Well, that's the whole idea behind solipsism. The logic is, brutally simple. The only thing you can be 100% certain of is that your own mind, your own consciousness exists, right? Everything else, this video, the chair you're sitting on, your friends, your family, it's all just information coming into your brain. Can you prove any of it is real outside of your own perception? Solipsism says, nope, you can't. All right, let's bring this home to you. This is a famous thought experiment called the experience machine. Imagine there's a machine you can plug into for the rest of your life. It will give you any experience you want. You can be a rock star, an astronaut, anything. Pure happiness, guaranteed. And here's the kicker. You won't even know it's a simulation. So would you plug in? Would you do it? Your answer says a lot about what you really value. Perfect happiness or something real? Okay, so if reality itself is feeling a little shaky, then what does that say about you? If the world might not even be real, how can you be so sure about who you are? This is where we zoom in for Section 2. Who exactly are you? We're going to start with an absolute classic, a real puzzle, the Ship of Theseus. So picture this. There's a famous ship, a historical artifact, sitting in a museum, but over hundreds of years, the wooden planks start to rot. So one by one, they get replaced. Eventually, you get to a point where not a single one of the original pieces of wood is left. The question is it still the same ship? And just think about how it happens, right? It's not like one day it's the old ship and the next it's a new one. It's a slow, piece-by-piece process. They replace a plank here, another one a few years later. At what exact moment did it stop being the original, or did it? The shape is the same, but all the stuff it's made of is brand new.
But wait, it gets even trickier. What if some guy was collecting all the old rotten planks as they were removed, and he carefully reassembled them into a ship? Now you've got two ships. Ship A in the museum, made of all new parts, and Ship B, the one built from all the original pieces. So which one is the real Ship of Theseus? There's no easy answer, is there? And it makes you think your own body replaces almost all of its cells over the years. Are you the same person you were 7 years ago?
Let's crank up this identity problem with the teletransportation paradox. Imagine a machine from the future. It scans your body atom by atom, destroys you right there, and then instantly reassembles a perfect copy of you on Mars. This copy is all your thoughts, all your memories, everything. So here's the question. Did you just travel to Mars? Or did you just die? And a perfect clone of you is now walking around on Mars thinking it's you.
And now for our last idea about identity. This one is wow, it's really something else. It's called the egg theory. The idea is that every single person who has ever lived or ever will live is you. It's all the same soul being reincarnated again and again and again. You are living every single human life in history. You've been a king, a peasant, a hero, a villain. You just don't remember it. The entire universe in this theory is just an egg, a sort of incubator for this one single soul, your soul, to mature into something godlike.
All right, we're at our final section, our last zoom in. We've put reality on trial, we've picked apart the idea of a self, so what's left?
Now we ask, if everything is this uncertain, how in the world are we supposed to actually live our lives and make choices?
Let's talk about free will, or more accurately, the argument that it doesn't really exist. Think about something simple, like choosing ice cream. You can choose between chocolate and vanilla, right? That feels like a free choice. But could you have chosen to want vanilla if, deep down, what you really truly desired was chocolate? The argument here is that you can choose what you do, but you can't choose what you want. And if your desires are in the driver's seat, how free are you really?
So if our choices are just us, acting on our desires, maybe we should just lean into it. That's kind of the core idea of ethical egoism. It says that the most rational, even the most moral thing a person can do is always act in their own self-interest. From this point of view, helping others, or altruism, isn't some noble calling. It's just unnatural, a way we trick ourselves into not going after what we truly want. I mean, survival is the most basic instinct, right?
And this leads to a huge challenge for society. It's called the paradox of tolerance. The philosopher Karl Popper pointed this out. He said that for a society that values tolerance to survive, it has to be intolerant of intolerance. It sounds like a total contradiction, I know, but think it through. If a tolerant society allows intolerant groups to do whatever they want, what happens? Well, those groups could use that freedom to gain power and then, you guessed it, destroy tolerance for everyone. It's a really tough question about where you draw the line in a free society.
And that's where we land. We've gone from questioning the entire universe to questioning our own identity, to questioning how we live with each other. So if reality could just be a dream, if who you are is a constantly shifting puzzle, and if your choices aren't even truly your own, what's left? How do you move forward from here and decide what actually matters?